In this video, I'm going to show you the top 10 weight loss tips of 2021. Think of it as this year's greatest hits when it comes to weight loss advice. It's the best of the best because you deserve the best. As always, I'm going to come at it from a multifaceted approach because it's the only proven way to move that proverbial weight loss needle in the right direction. These are the exact same tips that I give to all my students, and they've all gone to see some amazing results. So you know it works. Before we get started, don't forget to give this video a like, subscribe to my channel, and hit the bell to get notified every time I post a new video every week. It really helps support my channel. All right, let's get into it. Okay, let's start with a low-hanging fruit that will yield immediate results. Change your environment. I don't know about you, but I'm the type of person where if there's junk food in the house, it's not a matter of if I'm gonna eat it, it's only a matter of when. It's like a ticking time bomb. And I know I'm not alone on that, and my biggest weakness are sweets. I have a sweet tooth. So what did I do to fix this? It's simple. I stopped stocking my house with trigger foods because I firmly believe that your environment greatly determines your success when it comes to losing weight. The lowest hanging fruit is controlling what goes in your fridge and your pantry. None of those foods end up there by accident because here's the thing. Human beings are not wired for self-control. We're just not. We're actually wired to overeat. So if you have chips, cookies, crackers, pop, granola bars, protein bars, which are really just glorified Snickers bars, or whatever your trigger food is, if you always have those things within arm's reach, guess what you're gonna eat? All I'm really getting you to do is creating a barrier between you and your impulse. And here's a very important concept that you need to understand. What you stop eating has far more impact to your health than what you start eating. For example, if you're someone who drinks multiple cans of Coke or Diet Coke, you always have it stocked in your house, you drink it like water, then all of a sudden you stop buying it and you actually just start drinking regular water, I will bet so much money that your life will change. Number 2, stock your house with better options. So once you do a complete purge of your fridge and pantry of all the junk in your house, you gotta replace it with something else, otherwise you have no food. You're gonna end up eating out or ordering takeout, and then it becomes a free-for-all, and the chances of you getting something healthy is 50-50 at best. And if you have kids, this is the perfect time to set an example and save them from years, if not decades of misery by giving them real food instead of junk food. Because if your child is obese, the likelihood of them becoming obese as an adult is all but guaranteed. So learn some basic recipes of 2 to 3 healthy meals that you like. It doesn't have to be complicated. You don't need to be a top chef to do this. You're absolutely worth the effort. Here's a pro tip for you. Freeze a serving or 2 of whatever you meal prep as a backup plan. As the saying goes, if you fail to plan, you plan to fail. Life happens. Sometimes you run out of food, you forget to buy groceries, or whatever. Having healthy frozen meals for emergency use can be an absolute game changer because it prevents you from making bad decisions. Listen, there are many things in life you have no control over. But one of the things that you have complete autonomy is what gets stocked in your fridge. Use that to your advantage. Put yourself in the best position possible to succeed by taking control of your environment. Number 3, follow a time-restricted eating schedule. This is more commonly known as intermittent fasting. But we'll call it TRE because people sometimes can be dogmatic about the word fasting. But when I first heard about this concept, it sounded insane. It goes against conventional wisdom. But nowadays, I like to refer to it as conventional stupidity. But I decided to try it anyway because eating 6 small meals a day wasn't cutting it. I was always hungry, I had no energy, and I wasn't losing weight. Why not try something else? The crazy thing is you don't even need to be perfect when you do this. My diet still wasn't perfect when I started doing TRE, but it kind of just shows you the power of honoring our natural circadian code. All I did was limit my eating window to 8 hours. This is also known as a 16-hour fast. I just skipped breakfast. And I know it's not a fad because I've been able to maintain my results ever since. All my students, same thing. And if you want to know more about this topic, then make sure to check out all my other videos about it. Number 4, schedule an optional weekly cheat meal. A lot of people tend to have an all or nothing attitude. They'll say that I'm never eating dessert again when it's one of the things that brings them joy. Good luck with that. And this is just basic human physiology. The more you tell someone they can't have something, the more they want it. And however long you can hold off on your caloric kryptonite is usually just built on the strength of your willpower. There's only one problem with that, and it's a big one. You only have a finite amount of it. It runs out, and it leads to a very unhealthy relationship with food, which is a big problem for a lot of people. That's why I like going the other way on this. You can have it, just not all the time. Think about it this way. If you skip breakfast all week, think of it like putting tiny deposits in an imaginary piggy bank. Then once a week, you make an optional withdrawal in the form of a cheat meal. Who doesn't want to be able to enjoy their favorite treats guilt-free? This is how you can even call this your carb refeed day. This also helps to keep your metabolism happy because you shouldn't be on a calorie deficit for extended periods of time. So yes, it's okay to have ice cream and pizza every once in a while. It doesn't make you a bad person, just be sensible about it, obviously. Guys, by the way, if you're listening to this on iTunes, feel free to leave us a review if you're enjoying this. It'll mean the world to me because that's going to help the podcast reach more people. So thank you so much for doing that. And if you're watching this on YouTube, don't forget to hit that like button to tell the algorithm that this video is awesome. Next, this is kind of a 2-for-1 deal. Optimize muscle by getting enough high-quality protein combined with resistance training. Why? Well, muscle is the mechanism of health. It's your metabolic currency. It's the largest site for glucose disposal. The more muscle you have, the more metabolic flexibility and carb flexibility you'll have. When you think about your basal metabolic rate, which is the amount of calories you burn at rest, it's the amount of muscle you have. So muscle is metabolism. More importantly, the higher the muscle mass, the better the protection against all-cause mortality. It's like a suit of armor. So really, the best way to lose weight and fix everything is optimizing muscle tissue and changing your weight loss paradigm. It's not about being over fat, which is why it hasn't worked for so many people. It really is, from a metabolic perspective, about being under-muscled. People often wonder why they regain the weight they worked so hard to lose, which can be very frustrating. The solution is muscle. They don't have enough muscle. If we're being real right now, you probably don't have enough muscle. But that's okay. Now you know better. You have to fix your metabolic composition first. If you optimize muscle by prioritizing protein and everything else I've told you so far, as well as doing resistance training, the weight will come off and stay off. Your goal is to eat at least 30 to 50 grams of high quality protein per meal to trigger something called muscle protein synthesis. By high quality, I'm talking about protein from animals and animal products because it has the most abundant and bioavailable amino acids, namely leucine, because it's what triggers the all-important muscle protein synthesis through mTOR. Not all protein are created equal. For example, plant protein and animal protein are not the same, not even close. If you don't get that bolus amount of protein, the body is just gonna go for short-term survival. That is a very important concept you need to understand. This is why you need to prioritize it. And no, resistance training does not have to be heavy, which is what discourages a lot of people from doing it to begin with. As long as you have enough volume and it's intense, you're fine. Just start with your own body weight for resistance. Even as little as doing it twice a week, lasting anywhere between 10 to 30 minutes, is enough to get you benefits, and that's doable for a lot of people. Contrary to popular belief, you don't need to go to the gym every day. Next up, go for a 15-minute walk after every meal. As little as a 15-minute walk after a meal has been shown to cut the blood sugar and insulin response by half, independent of any medication, which is just mind-blowing. Because the faster you can regulate blood glucose and insulin, the faster your body can tap into your fat stores and burn it for energy. Better yet, aim to get at least 10,000 steps spread throughout the day, because it's a big enough number to avoid prolonged periods where you're completely sedentary. Nothing shuts down your fat-burning metabolism faster than prolonged periods where you're not moving. For context, the average North American only gets around 4,200 steps every day, which is the definition of a sedentary lifestyle. Think about it this way. If you're moving almost 3 times more than someone else, you're gonna look a lot different, so you need to move. You're not a tree. Bonus points if you do your walk somewhere close to nature, like a trail, a park, or close to a body of water, like a river. Because time spent in nature is unbelievably good for your mental health. It helps reduce stress, anxiety, and depression. The Japanese call it forest bathing. Number 8, protect your sleep as if your life depends on it. I think a lot of people deep inside knows that sleep is important, or maybe you don't. Either way, it's kind of something that we just brush aside. It's also the first thing that gets sacrificed when we're short on time. Or it just completely goes out the window for people who live for the weekend. If you stay up late Friday night or Saturday night and then you just sleep in that weekend, it's really no different than flying from LA to New York. And then you feel like hot garbage come Monday because your sleep is out of sync. This is called social jet lag. I used to be guilty of social jet lag when I used to bartend part-time. My body felt like a dumpster fire most of the time. I got sick all the time. My eye bags had a purse. It wasn't until I started prioritizing sleep that my health improved. Simply put, not getting adequate and quality sleep, which is 7 hours minimum, moves every health metric in the wrong direction. There's a reason why we evolved to sleep for a third of our lives. Your body uses that time to repair itself. If you think of a car, it's your nightly tune-up and maintenance. What happens if a car doesn't get those things? It starts to break down. The human body is the exact same thing. Plus, I've literally never met anyone who complained about getting a good night's sleep. Next up, practice mindfulness and gratitude. There are many things in life that I wish I would have started sooner. Like, I wish I started lifting weights and practicing martial arts a lot sooner. But practicing mindfulness and gratitude is right near the top of that list. I'm gonna go as far as saying that this could be your most powerful weight loss tool. Why? Well, it's one of the best things that you can do for your mental health. Mental health is true wealth. A lot of people these days are dealing with stress, anxiety, and depression. Meditation and gratitude is the answer. Think of meditation like intermittent fasting for the brain. And it's so simple but so effective. I highly recommend using a guided meditation app where a gentle voice just guides you through the practice. But basically, you just focus on your breathing and be in the moment, whether that's 3, 5, or 10 minutes. Like, how could spending a few minutes each day just focusing on your breathing and being in the moment be such a bad thing? Lastly, be nice to yourself. This is what ties everything together. It goes hand in hand with practicing mindfulness and gratitude, in that you need to have a good relationship with yourself. Unfortunately, most people don't. We can be so mean to ourselves, especially the way we talk to ourselves. Think about a baby learning how to walk. They fall all the time. They're not very good at it. You wouldn't say, "You're so stupid," to a baby, would you? But how often do you hear someone say that to themselves? Why is it okay to talk to ourselves like that? Remember, you change best when you feel good, not when you feel bad. One of the best and fastest ways to feel good is number 1, practice mindfulness. Number 2, start a gratitude list every day. It's best if you put pen to paper. Just write 5 things you love about yourself every morning. And then I want you to read it and feel it. Internalize it. You can't help but feel good when you do this. Lastly, and I just learned this, practice the high five habit. And credit to Mel Robbins for this. After brushing your teeth in the morning, assuming you're doing it in front of a mirror, give yourself a high five while you're there. It's encoded in our DNA to feel good when we get a high five. We've been doing high fives for centuries. Think about when you're acknowledging someone doing a good job, or when you're watching sports and your team scores a touchdown, for example. We give each other a high five. You can give yourself that feeling if you do it in front of a mirror. You give yourself a little dopamine hit. So be your biggest hype man or woman. It's impossible not to feel good after you do it. Lastly, I don't want you to be perfect when you follow these tips. I'm not perfect. Just give me a B. It's usually more than enough to get life-changing results. The next question then becomes, how and what are you actually supposed to eat if you want to lose weight? Because 80% of your body composition is determined by your diet. This is also where a lot of people go wrong. Do you have a proven plan that you can follow? To help you with that, I want to give you a free copy of my Lean Body Blueprint. This is how I was finally able to get rid of all my stubborn fat without depriving myself of my favorite foods or spending countless hours doing cardio. It's a simple and proven 4-step process specifically designed for busy professionals like you, and it's also the exact same blueprint that I teach to all my coaching clients, and they've all gone to see some amazing results. If you want to be the next success story, then download your free copy of the Lean Body Blueprint right now. There's going to be a link somewhere at the top here or in the description box. Just click on it, type in your email, and I'll send it to you right away. Hey, give this video a thumbs up if you enjoyed it and share it with your friends. Please subscribe to my channel if you haven't already. I post a new video every week, and feel free to comment below if you have any questions about this video. Alright, I'll see you in the next one. Virtual high five.